Yeah, buddy.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Mire. As I got to turn our headsets down just a hair a little bit, otherwise we're going to blow everybody's eardrums out. Welcome to the Mire. Keith Glock, Matt Pogue, Tim Bartholomew, Brandon Fury, and Mandy Shovelin is waiting over in the wings. And I got to tell you, guys, I am excited as heck to start the 2021 basketball season. And just this sense of somewhat normalcy, despite the fact that everything seems abnormal here because we are the only people in this place.
Oh, there's lots of cutouts out there.
There's a whole mess of fatheads, I can actually talk to Tooch and hear her right now doing this as she's working the scoreboard, and Pogue diligently toiling away over there despite our massive JV scoreboard failures. Would not be. See, you know what? I can actually do this now, guys, because he doesn't even have a headset to be able to react and talk back to me.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. It's always his fault anyway. He knows that.
Everybody plays a role around here.
Yeah.
So tonight, Montgomery hosts Phillipsburg in the first game of 2021. Wow, I was about to say something really stupid.
Yeah.
Which is pretty typical as well.
That doesn't surprise me.
I was about to say, I almost don't even care if we win or lose. And then I thought better of that because I really do care that we win.
Yeah, that's a terrible thing to say.
But like I'm just
start the game.
This sounds so sophomoric. I'm just so happy to be here.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. Ever since 2020 season ended, I want to get back out here and do this, watch them play. Something about the Grundy basketball teams, it just builds up excitement. It makes you feel like you're part of that family just because we're broadcasting the games, and it's always exciting. You know, it's always a good time.
There's the one question I think before we really get into the pregame show with Coach Grundy, which we're going to go to in like 90 seconds, I promise, because we have a whole mess of stuff to plug. Very quickly, your wife has to hate that beard. Has to.
Oh, she loves it. It's amazing, this beard.
Ended Meyer pregame show to really get into. First off, hit us up on Apple Podcasts. Brandon Fury just has taken captain of the ship. The Muck and Meyer podcast is going to drop every Monday. You can get us on the Apple Pod Store, Google Play, and Spotify. Up there is the full pregame interview with Coach Grundy. It's about 28 minutes long. We were going to air it, but when we decided to do the JV game today, obviously we have to cut the pregame a little bit short. We have a whole mess of stuff that Pogue did that we might not even get to until the next game. So I do love you, Matt. That's I promise we will not make all of your hard work go down the toilet. But what we're going to do is we're going to jump right over now to a little wee bit of an edited version of my pregame conversation with the head coach. No, we're not going to do that yet because Matt's not ready for me. Hold on. We're going to do it in like 20 seconds as soon as he gets the video loaded. You would have thought when I talked about it 90 seconds ago that he would have started looking for the video, but, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
And honestly, in full disclosure, it was not done right in the pregame. He and I actually sat down yesterday and talked right at the end of the school day because that's what worked for everybody schedule-wise. What we know about 2020 and 2021, right, is you got to be adaptable.
Yeah, flexibility, baby.
And that's we actually talk a little bit about that. I can't remember if I cut that part out, and if I
Might
did,
have.
then that's more of a reason
That's
to
what
either
you missed.
you can head over to the new MyerRadio.com, which you're actually on right now if you're watching us, and the full interview is also in our YouTube playlist, which is just below the live feed. Or again, subscribe to the Muck and Meyer podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, or Spotify. And are you ready for me now, Pogue? All right. Without further ado, the pregame interview with the head coach of Montgomery Cougars, Chris Grundy. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Meyer pregame show and one of my favorite interviews of the year as we get set to kick off the boys' basketball season. I can't even say in 2021, in just 2020, rather 2020, 2021,
Yes.
just to 21,
Yes.
the head coach of your boys basketball team, Chris Grundy. Coach.
Mr. Glock, how you doing, sir? It's been a while since we've done this, so it's good to be back for sure.
No doubt I am well, and I'm just happy that we're sitting here, even though I can hardly see you. You know, you're incognito. I think it's going to be this way for a little while, and that's, better than fatheads and,
Yes.
kind of virtual fans, as it were. Fantastic idea. Who came up with it, and what's the genesis?
That would be Stephanie Prescott and Michelle Symborski. This started in the summer, and I'm sure we'll get into that later on with all the training that we did in the summer. They showed up at Van Horn Park and didn't tell me why, but just kept snapping close-ups of my of my beautiful face. And at a six-man club meeting, probably in July, late July, early August, I arrived at a six-man club meeting, and there was a big cardboard cutout of yours truly. And I was like, what the heck are we doing here? And they were like, well, these are going to be our fans for the year. So we went from like full body shots, and we scaled it down to just headshots. And I think we're right around 100 fathead fans. So it's awesome. It's awesome.
That's going to be really cool.
Yeah.
So you kind of gave me a natural segue to talk about, the preparation up until now and what an odd year this is. One of the things that's become a staple of, and I guess maybe staple isn't even the right word. It's just been an expectation of this program and all the work that you guys put in, not within the confines of the season in order to be ready for the season. And I think, not surprisingly, it's one of the reasons why you're one of the toughest outs early in the year every year. This year, just kind of everything thrown on its head. You guys didn't really get the go-ahead to even do anything together as a team until July, and then you couldn't be inside, which is a drag. Tell us about this year different from other years and what exactly you guys did to get ready.
Great question. I mean, when we left, I remember it like it was yesterday. I walked out of the high school on March 13th, and I left via the Aux gym. And Riley Green and Rohan, two of our alumni were in the auxiliary gym shooting. And I just said, hey, we just got sent home and blah blah blah. And never would I have thought that on March 13th that, we would still be dealing with this now. I don't think anybody knew. And then, days led into weeks, led into months. And, it was obvious that we weren't going to have our normal summer preparation. The players continued to go to Montgomery Park, and when the rims were restored, because for a while here in Montgomery, just like every place else, the rims were taken down or there was caution tape around, so you really couldn't get out of your house. As everybody knows, everybody lived through it. But on July 16th, when Governor Murphy cleared us for outdoor basketball activity, that's when we started. We did small group instruction at Van Horn Park, where, the Montgomery Rec Department was great to us this summer, allowing us access to the hour and a half long workout before our small group workouts for the community would start with the little kids, because we didn't want to miss a beat there. Those kids wanted to train. Those kids needed to get out of their houses and do that type of stuff. So, we tried to do as much as we possibly could. I mean, I became an expert on two things this summer. One, transmission rate. I was all over the transmission rate. So as long as we were under 1, I knew we were still going to be able to do our things. And the weather. I mean, who would have thought with an indoor sport that we would have to worry about weather? But I was all over rain chances and threats of storms. And, but that was the world that we were living in at the time. And, things could have been a heck of a lot worse for us. But the players, just like always, man, they rise to the occasion here in Montgomery. And we got our work in, and it continued right into the fall. We were able to host 2, it was supposed to be 3 outside fall camps at Van Horn Park for 8 varsity teams. The third one, out of what has been another key phrase that people use all the time now, out of an abundance of caution, we canceled our third one because we had 2 incidences not involving Montgomery teams, with COVID exposure. So we did 2 camps, and then we were invited to a fall league up in Branchburg. So we got to play a few games up there. So we did as much as we possibly could. Was it the typical Montgomery summer? Absolutely not, but at least it was something.
It was funny. You just said you became an expert on 2 things. Now, typically, I know what you're going to say in these interviews. I had no clue where you were going, so I was scared to death. And also, if you keep going, maybe we could get sponsored by the Dark Sky app. That would be great. That'd be fantastic. a scholarship, humongous big man who's a fantastic player. You have maybe the best point guard that's ever played here by the time he's done, and that's saying a lot, obviously. And you have a shooter on the outside who the history of that position in this program. With apologies to, JT Symborski or to Noah Vlasic or whatever, you want to fill in the rest of the starting lineup. That's a great 3 places to start.
Sure, 100%. 100%, yeah. You touched on it. Chris has been tremendous. He's as a freshman, he started with the freshman team. He was the first player that we've ever had to play on all 3 levels as a freshman. He started as a freshman, was dominating there. We moved him up to JV, and then by the end of the year, he was playing full-time varsity for us, and he got his first start or his first taste of varsity action. I remember in the primetime shootout against Moorestown late in the year. And his maturation and his progress in this program has been unbelievable, and it's a credit to him. It's a credit to how hard he's worked, both on the floor and off the floor. I mean, schools like Lafayette and schools like Columbia and schools like the service academies, all the schools that were showing a ton of interest or offered, they can't even offer you unless you're taking care of business off the court as well. So, it's a real credit to Chris and how hard he's worked. And, just a little side note too, we preach family during his senior year, and we all know numbers improve as a senior. He would have scored 1,000 points, but now because we're restricted to just 15 games, not that we preach individual statistics, but getting your name up there on that board,
that's pretty cool.
That's a pretty cool thing. So he's going to miss out on that opportunity, but never said it's the furthest thing from his mind. But it's also just something that I'd like to get out there and just let people know that this would have been a 1,000-point score. And then you look to Ryan Curry and you said it, man, and I've had some unbelievable point guards, back in my first year, starting with Kevin Tarka, and the list goes on, Ryan McCoy and Chase Ta and Tim Urineff and Matt Remsen. But Ryan's tough, man. We talk all the time about just being an assassin on the floor and willing to do anything to win the game, and that's Ryan's mentality.
You said it, and I want to jump in there for a second because we had never used that word to describe him there, but I don't know that there's a better word to describe him. Throughout all those guys that you had mentioned, none of them, maybe Chase a little bit at the end, the very tail end of his sophomore year, was doing what Curry was doing as a sophomore.
100%.
The confidence to be able to offensively take over a game, and you looked at that and you're like, oh.
Yeah. I mean, let's go back to the Rutgers prep game when he was a freshman.
Yeah.
He hits 3 huge threes in that game. So I mean, he's got it, man. He's got. I mean, it's so cliche, but he's got it. Whatever
I was just going to say that. Whatever that
is. He's really, really just a really good player. And then you talked about Matt Prescott, who you go back and you watch film of him last year getting his first real taste of varsity action. He's our best off the ball cutter. He'll step up and he'll handle the basketball if we need him to. And he's a knockdown 3-point shooter. So I mean, when you have Ryan and you have Chris, where a lot of teams are going to double or even triple team them, if you can set your feet and rise and fire and knock down that shot consistently, you're going to score a lot of points. We're going to be a tough team, and we should win a lot of games.
The other thing that, again, 20,000-foot view, that makes you guys very tough, I think, is as you look across the starters and then into your first couple of guys off the bench, the Josh Morris, we'll talk about in a second, and Aryan Gordy, like, you don't suffer from James Harden and Russell Westbrook playing on the same team. You know what I mean? Like, it seems like just your division of talent and the high level of talent that you have all like play a different role on the team. Sometimes because of their physical makeup, sometimes just because of their skill set.
Sure.
And then to be able to go into the bench. And again, my opinion, having watched enough high school sports to choke a horse, when you have a good big, if you six a lot, coming off the bench, and you have Josh Moore, a freshman, with a handle that's going to be, by the time he gets through his 4 years, is going to be a wizard. Talk about just the diverse skill set of all of your guys and how that it makes you, I think, tougher.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about the three guys already, that you asked about, and really plays really good defense, gets us tough rebounds, and he's really worked on his outside shot. I mean, he's got a really, really good looking outside shot. We plead with him all the time, like, Noah, take that shot, especially if they're doubling Chris. And we kick it out to you, be ready to rise and fire and knock that down. So he's a really, really important piece. I know we're not allowed to have people come through practice, but, if you were walking through the hallway and you hear somebody yelling, most likely it's going to be Noah, yelling at guys to pick up their energy and pick up their enthusiasm and that type of stuff. So that's huge for us. And then our fifth starter, JT Symborski, is a sophomore, and just – he's like a throwback to like a Colin Geary, to like a Matt Kovacs, a guy that just like kind of lives the game. He loves basketball. He watches basketball, and that allows him to just kind of be in the right places that we need him to be defensively and offensively. And he's a really, really good shooter, and he's going to knock down a lot of big shots for us this year. He's another one that we're like, hey, keep shooting, man, keep shooting. We want you in that situation. We want you taking those shots. So, those two guys are really going to help us. And then you talked about the bench, to be able to bring in, a 6'8" guy off the bench and Gortz, it really, really helps us. Gordy stepped up last year when we had some injuries and some other things going on, and he got a big start against PDS, and he was unbelievable in that game. Played 30 out of 32 minutes, had 6 or 8 points, 5 or 6 blocks, 8 rebounds, stuff like that. Just a really good stat line. And then I think he started thinking too much and just, started putting undue pressure on himself instead of just playing. Because we knew we had found a diamond in the rough with him. But the pressure of certain moments last year kind of got the better of him a little bit, and we just thought it would be best just to kind of sit him down and just kind of let him watch a little bit. But this year, we don't have that luxury. We graduated some guys. So now we're going to be counting on him to reach. We've seen him grow up through this program, and he's got a really, really good handle, ultra quick. He wants to be good. Like, you can tell, like, he's just processing. He's not a loud kid. We're pleading with him, like, Josh, in this defense that we run, like, you got to talk, you got to communicate. And you could tell he's a little apprehensive, but the skills are there. Like, the skill set is there for him to be a really, really good high school basketball player.
Okay. This is the 1 year where you can't answer that way. So
Yes.
what are the goals for this team?
Something different. More so than that. It's just we're playing every day for each other, which you may say, well, aren't you always doing that? But it's totally different. It's totally different this year. I talked about pod practices. And guys that we're, not going to talk about today on the Mire, whether it's, Kerry Wong or Brian Symborski or Alex Pendris or Matt Levy or James Moore, those 5 young men on a normal year would be practicing over here with Coach Bassford. If I needed some bodies, I'd call them over here. They'd be sitting on the bench for a varsity game. They would, get their names up there, but they would still have the JV game. They would still have 32 minutes to play. And I sat these guys down in a preseason team Zoom, and I just said, this is your role for me this year. Right, wrong, or indifferent, this is what we're choosing to do to give us the best opportunity to complete a season. We're going to go with pod practices and 3 separate rosters for the first time ever. No swing players. Can you buy into that? And all of them without question, coach, whatever you need. Coach, whatever you need. So those 5 guys, they come to this court each and every day, and they bust it, and they kill it, and they give absolutely everything that they can, knowing that at the end of the day, they're probably not going to play in a game, and you wouldn't hear anything from them. They're totally happy. They're totally content. They want to be a part of that word. They want to be a part of.
And on fast forward, as they say, because we're, you're used to having the longest season, going, and now it's like it feels like the thing is 3/4 over before we even get started.
Six weeks left.
That's it. So, Coach, can't thank you enough for sitting down with us, best of luck on this season. I hope to God that we, get to follow you, everywhere you go, and that we get, 13, 14, 15 games, however many we can get in here, and everybody are good little boys and girls when they're away from school, and we can make this thing a reality.
Well, I thank you guys too for doing this and bringing our parents and our, I always love my alumni, but this year especially the parents who aren't going to be in the gym. Without you guys, this would be a really, really tough situation for them. So I appreciate the Meyer, as I always do. You guys do a tremendous job, and thank you for doing it.
Our pleasure. It's the head coach of the boys basketball team here at Montgomery, Chris Grundy, and we are going to take a break. We'll be back with the rest of the Meyer pregame show, and then we are going to have tip-off, finally live, boys basketball here in Montgomery against Phillipsburg. It's opening night. Stay with us. You're caught in the Meyer. It's the Montgomery Internet Radio Experience. Boy, are we right on it. We are right up to the national anthem here. We're almost set for boys basketball. We're going to step away for the anthem. We'll come back, starting lineups, talk about some rule changes, and then boys basketball. Right after this, you're caught in the Meyer. It's the Montgomery Internet Radio Experience. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Montgomery High School. Keith Glock, Tim Bartholomew, Brandon Fury, Matt Pogue, and Mandy Shovlin. As we get set for boys basketball, let's first quickly bring you the starting lineups. Backcourt for Phillipsburg, and they're joined by Julian Couto, Ben Capron, and Alden Harkin to round out the starting five. Obviously the first game of the year for Phillipsburg. And now the starting lineup for your Montgomery Cougars. There's four captains on this team, and all four are starters. Noah Vlasic, he plays kind of the tough guy role, a little bit of do everything for this team, and certainly brings a lot of energy. Matt Prescott is the shooting guard. Ryan Curry, the silky smooth point guard. He's a junior. And JT Symborski, a sophomore, will start as well will Chris Robayo, the 6'8" big man headed to Lafayette. Timmy, let's talk for a quick second about some new rule changes and things that you can expect to see this year, which are a bit different. There is no like all the niceties of the pregame stuff with the officials, that's all out the window. There's no more jump balls. It's not even a thing. Not even a thing. They flip a coin.
Nice.
Yeah, we're flipping coins.
It is football, still football season, so it makes sense.
And in my favorite rule, because it's almost like lacrosse, we go to overtime, you go to the alternate possession. So it's you go to the jump ball possession arrow to see who gets it to start overtime. And that is pretty much what we are doing here that's new for boys basketball and girls basketball in 2021. So right now, why don't we go over to Mandy Shovlin. Mandy, what do you have for us?
All right, everybody, welcome to your 2020-2021 season. It is a very unprecedented season, but I am here to help. My name is Mandy Shovlin, and I am your sideline reporter for this season. I'm here to help with the Meyer, and we're going to take on anything you put in front of us this year. And back to you guys.
Thanks, Mandy, as always. Excited to have Mandy back with us, and as always, we are excited to have Mr. Fury as well. Brando, how you doing over there, buddy?
I'm good. I'm excited.
Fantastic. Running the camera and doing some commentary. We're underway for boys basketball as a pass inside, and not the way you want to start things. You see a precipitous change.
Whoa,
in
stop. Precipitous.
Oh, yeah. We're starting things off with SAT words.
Somebody got a thesaurus for Christmas.
SAT words to start off the season. And you stole all the kids' thunder. Does Matt Prescott look like he lived in the weight room over COVID or what?
He's definitely gotten bigger. I actually was asking myself, I was like, wait, who is that kid? And then I was like, is that Prescott?
Colin Domzowski nails a baseline jumper for the first points of the season for Phillipsburg.
You know, a lot of the team looks like they've gotten bigger in the offseason, so it's going to be interesting to see how that translates.
Backdoor two-hand jam. Raballo to start things off. Heck of a way to start 2021.
First 2 points is a slam. Got to love it.
Great off-ball movement from the Cougs.
Feel free to speak up at any time, Fury over there.
He did. He just
almost. Vlasic knocks down a couple of fatheads on the far
taking
side.
out fans.
Here's another look as
those poor souls.
The Cougs' first bit of offense. A great cut from Raballo in the finish with two hands. A lot more of that to come so far, or rather on tap for the Cougs this season. I swear I'll speak English as the season goes on.
We'll see about that. We'll see.
We are tied at 2 here in the early going. Keith Glock, Tim Bartholomew, Brandon Fury, Matt Pogue, and Mandy Shelton. We almost have too big a staff for me to announce.
It's tough. It's a lot of people.
Wild pass inside. Curry nearly picked up a needless foul, but instead Phillipsburg swings it to the corner, and a three from Borelli is good.
Phillipsburg's doing a really good job of moving the ball around and taking open shots, so hopefully the defense can get in there and kind of mix it up.
Raballo is hit, and he'll go to the foul line. But is it just me? And I noted this before you guys all got here in the JV game too. I swear to God, between Curry's black sneakers and the way that basketball looks like the old rubber ball, we're in 1986 right now.
That's the first thing I noticed when I walked into the gym. I was like, "What are we playing with a rubber basketball again?" I was like,
yeah.
what happened here?" But
I don't like it. I don't
like it either.
I mean, I'm sure it's imperceptible when you're actually touching the darn thing, but I mean, it is what it is.
There you go, Raballo. First 3 points of this the game and season.
I mean, we've seen, Raballo hit some huge free throws in his time as a Coug, right?
Rutgers Prep, that was amazing.
Huge free throws in that game. And he is 2 for 2. So a good way to start things out for Christopher.
100% on the season, man. That's incredible.
He's going to start to understand the identity of this Cougar team, as we roll out here. And we talked with Coach Grundy about it, and the
played substantial minutes last year, and even JT got solid, important minutes at the end of the last season. So
I mean, JT played a decent amount even early in the year too.
Yeah,
I thought.
So they have their core back, so they're going to be able to accomplish a lot of things. It's just.
Wow, Curry. Great no look for Vlasic.
Amazing pass, and it's not surprising.
And there could have been an N1 there, too. There was contact on his back. You see Montgomery in this matchup zone as a three is on the way and way off the mark. Great job by Vlasic to back up box out on the Capron miss. Prescott, he'll pull up, and he is blocked at the foul line by Harkin.
So Phillipsburg, again, just moving that ball around, trying to find that open shot, taking their time.
And you know what? I think it's also a function of the Montgomery defense at this point, too. They're really making them work for what they're getting.
Absolutely.
Good call there. Symborski had a couple of hands on the back of Kuto.
A couple of years, the team is kind of rebuilding their program.
Cody Gromes into the game, and Raballo might nearly have a backcourt here now, but good save. Grundy.
Sick of Curry. Usually he's on the floor, trying to get that.
Yeah, as a long three from Domzowski is good. quickly the other way. Symborski, he'll try his hand at a 3, and the southpaw is no good, but Rabayo skies for an extra chance at it. And we're going to get another steal as Kuto will come the other way, and a layup. And you know what this is in the early going here, Timmy, is what do we know about Phillipsburg? They're just scrappy as hell. I mean, because that's what, that you are there.
Whatever team you're on, if you're in Phillipsburg, you're scrappy.
No doubt. We get an off-the-ball foul as Rabayo hits the deck.
And it's a dust buster. They haven't seen any real competition for some time. There's no scrimmages and things like that. So, you're expected to see some of this, not making a crisp pass or taking an ill-advised shot.
Curry from the corner, right off the inbound, no good. We'd be remiss not to mention the fact that the future has checked into the ball game, or at least one of the pieces of the future. Freshman Josh Moore into the ball game for the first time. And you'll see the division of labor, and it's be a tip out of bounds, with the point guard duties, as Moore is certainly capable of handling the basketball, and that should take some pressure off of Curry as we go through this season.
And that's a big difference from last year. Last year he kind of had that responsibility to move the ball, and if he wasn't doing it, we were in trouble. Especially when he sprained his ankle at the end of last season. That was a difficult time for us. But if Moore can pick up some of that slack and be able to handle that load, then that's going to make the team even more explosive and dangerous.
Borelli was short on his jumper, and Rabayo had a toe on the baseline. And we're going to get a traveling call on Domzowski. So no worse for the wear. Midway through.
Just waiting to see these guys get their flow back and then start putting down the shots and making some really interesting plays, because it's going to happen.
There's a big hand fight going on the inside as Cody Gromes is going to pick up another foul, his first, but the team's third already as we are here in the early going.
Yeah, that's quick to get 3.
Rabayo takes the inbound, and they go all the way back over the top for Curry. A great ball fake, extra pass. And now Chris will get into the lane, and they are going to call a offensive foul. I hate that call. I think that was absolutely moving and certainly in the shoulder.
Yeah, I'd agree, but I don't have a whistle.
It is what it is, as they say. So Phillipsburg will work to play offense. Vlasic will come up with a steal single-handedly, and Curry now will work back to him to initiate some offense. Here's Moore. He's got a wide-open 3. Oh, and it's in and out for the freshman. Oh, was that your mic, Timmy? I unplugged you? I didn't think I did. Oh, my bad. My apologies. Didn't realize that you were in mic numero 3 here today, buddy. I was wondering why that was making all the noise when I took it out. Hold on for a second. Let me switch some life up. There you go. You back to me?
Yeah.
Fantastic. And let's head over to Mandy Shovelin. Mandy, what do you have for us?
Hey guys, so we know so far both teams entered with intensity. They are not afraid to answer each other with that intensity returning. Cougars were strong coming back from recoveries and overturns, but the Phillipsburg team was not afraid to score when they're in a deficit, so I think this game is going to be intense and competitive. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Mandy. Ryan Curry will handle for the Cougs, and here for the timeout call from Grundy. You back now again?
I am.
All right. I don't know why that keeps happening.
Just keep.
Because I keep being a moron.
Oh,
That's
nice steal. Back to Curry.
Pretty much what it is.
And
As Curry lays it in.
Strong finish, man. That's what we come to expect from him.
I swear I will have all of this figured out before long.
I feel like we've made that promise before.
Rabayo, great job stepping in front, and he's got a steal. and he'll go back for Matt Prescott. Vlasic wide open and didn't pull the trigger. Instead, it'll be Prescott, and his three no good as he is 0 for 2. Not as much arc on his shots as what maybe we're used to.
Yeah, and that comes with the muscles, I guess.
I suppose.
But I'm always been a big fan of Prescott. Once he gets the first one to fall, you know 2 or 3 more are gonna come in shortly after.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Oh, here's what I've been waiting for, Gordy. Now we got the Gordy-Rabayo tandem in there.
Yeah, to be able to play 2 big men like this, I mean, you don't even need to necessarily block shots as we're going to get an offensive foul on an illegal screen. Just altering shots as guys get into the paint.
Yeah, it's hard.
I'm sorry, you got 2 guys that are 6'8" with long arms.
Yeah.
It's a problem.
It's hard to shoot over a tree.
Yeah.
That's great, though.
About a minute to go in quarter number 1 as it will throw over the top. Gordy tries to go up and get it and can't. And it was stolen by Alden Harkin. Here come the State Liners.
I'll tell you what, Gordy looks like he put some time in the offseason in the weight room as well. He looks a little bit bigger, and he looks a lot more coordinated than he did last year.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. 4-point lead for Phillipsburg in the first quarter as we wind down. Montgomery finding its sea legs, so to speak, in the early going. Curry gets a hand on the basketball, but regained by Phillipsburg. Dalmazowski again for 3. That's no good, and Gordy will watch as it goes out of bounds. Yeah, you're doing fine.
Tell you what, he did a great job in the JV game announcing it, coming after your play-by-play position.
Listen, kid's going to be on ESPN one day.
And it's all going to be because of Glock.
Yeah, right. Floater from Curry's no good as we're under 10 seconds to go in the quarter. Here comes Peberg looking for some late quarter points.
Good
A
look.
wild pass inside, and we're going to get a floater. Wow, nearly a fantastic play at the buzzer from Andrew Martin. But instead, the first quarter of the 2021 season is in the books, and we'll take a break. Second quarter coming up right after this. You're caught in the mire. It's the Montgomery Internet Radio Experience. Welcome back to Montgomery. The entire Meyer staff on hand for opening night of the 21 season against Peberg. And just to let you know what we have coming up, tomorrow night we are going to do Board in Town, but it's going to be tape delayed from my basement due to some copyright, and I'm dead serious about copyright restrictions, that we literally cannot go there to live stream because of a contract they have with somebody else. But we're going to work some magic as more. We'll look for Gordy. So we will have that game for you. It'll probably be live, about 7:15, 7:30, whenever the game comes to an end, as the entry pass for Rabayo is stolen, and Borelli, his three is good. So Peberg shooting it here.
Yeah, they're not missing. They have a pretty good field goal percentage.
Prescott, give and go with Rabayo. He is upended, and they're going to have a blocking foul on Peberg. So just to finish that thought, so Bordentown will be tomorrow, sometime around 7:15 when that game ends. Next Tuesday we are up at Ridge, and then we come home for a little bit of a stretch of a Thursday, Thursday home tilt, and for the Immaculata on the 4th and Bridgewater on the 8th, we are going to be broadcasting all 3 levels of boys basketball. So you'll get freshman, JV, and varsity on February 4th and February 8th.
Oh, to the content they want, the content they deserve.
That's it. It's 2021, baby. Pandemic basketball.
Yeah. Meyer hitting you hard.
Rabayo nailed the first one, and he's 1 for 2 as Prescott tries to keep it alive and can. Wow, great job by Matt. Great pass from Rabayo, and Gordy can't hit the layup.
See, sooner or later that's going to fall, and that's going to be when that tandem is dangerous.
Gordy has the freakishly long arms, as we're going to get at travel. I wish Pogue had a headset for this. When Boban played for the Sixers, it was almost like Boban didn't have to jump to do anything.
Yeah.
Because his arms were so stinking long, and I just feel like that was a play like Gordy you could see as he goes Rabayo backdoor, great cut and great pass.
See,
Gordy's going to be able to reach up and just with one hand just dunk that thing with the left. We're good.
I mean, that's the benefit of those two guys. One cuts to the center, gets a nice high pass, and then the other one's cutting underneath, get a high pass. You know, it's hard to card that.
Patrick Ritt trying to look to the wing, and that pass was just not where it needed to be. As you saw, again, the replay, Rabayo with really great off-ball movement so far in the first half as Curry blows by, and he gets in the lane, and the right hand will not go down.
It's a good drive. Just got to make sure we finish those, but he's gonna 9 times out of 10 make that layup.
Montgomery with this pressure trap offense that they like so much. Rabayo with a great job. And that's a play I think a year ago he doesn't make necessarily. I don't know. That just felt tougher inside than he has been.
I mean, he's definitely being aggressive inside and getting some really good boards this game.
Rabayo fights through some contact. It ends up with Curry, and his three, no good, as Ryan is fighting through it in the first quarter, or the first half, I should say.
Yeah, he'll get there. That's the one thing that's always been good about this Cougar team is when one of their scorers is not performing it to their normal ability, there's always somebody that's picking them up.
Yep. Defensively, you've seen the intensity from the Cougars from the get-go. Here's a foul line contested jumper, and that's no good. Rabayo just not really kind of where he needed to be on that play as Tristan Canzano followed up his own miss with a bucket.
Looks like Noah's going to be checking in.
Vlasic, as you said, sitting at the scorer's table, and Prescott. He'll get into the lane. And that floater, that's been there for him pretty much the entirety of the last 2 seasons.
It's good. They're keeping it within 4, so that's a good deficit for the Cougs. I feel like that's not something we can get any time.
Yeah, no doubt. Another turnover there forced by Montgomery, and just the feeling of this is 30-second timeout. We'll keep you here. Particularly well, and yet, or rather, Phillipsburg has played particularly well. Montgomery has not played particularly well. And yet the deficit is only 4, as you mentioned. So, in any event, looks like we're going to have another update from Mandy. Mandy, what do you have?
Hey, guys. So, for the second quarter, we have early fouls from both teams. Both have the Cougars have 4, and Phillipsburg has 5. The Cougars are unlucky in their shots and have a few turnovers where they're strong on defense with the early press. Phillipsburg, on the other hand, is hurting from the press and banking on offensive opportunities. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Mandy. Cougs look to build on this lead, or rather cut into this lead, I should say.
To go with what you were saying earlier, I feel like Phillipsburg's been playing well enough. Like when they take good shots, they're making them, but they've also been turning the ball over a lot.
Symborski for 3, no good. Rabayo with another rebound. Great look from Prescott. He'll get it back, though, and he'll try to get his first 3 of the season. No, and he's also fighting through it. But the big man inside there able to regather. They go back all the way across court for Prescott. Symborski, another 3 from him. Yes!
There we go.
JT Symborski, his first points on the fledgling season, and it is 17-16.
That's all it takes, man. You get one to fall, and then they all start coming.
Good job by Phillipsburg to break the press, and another 3. This one is in and out, and
No push.
yep, they're going to say Curry got a hand on the back off the Cody Gromes miss. So
That's your boy, right, Fury?
Yeah, you bet.
I remember Fury and Curry were in my Heritage Day class, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy. Ireland, right?
Yeah,
Ireland. That's when
Ireland.
I was Ireland. That was awesome.
got another look there at Symborski and that left-handed shot that Montgomery is really counting on over the next couple of years. Good defense on the inside, and another rebound for the Cougs. Rubio mishandles for a moment, looks for Prescott. Right back to him. Rubio can shoot it. We know that for 3, no good. And a long rebound is picked up by Harkin.
I thought I was talking loud enough. It's hard to out talk Glock, though.
I know. We were up at Plainfield because we're mentoring some students up there as they're kind of getting their own internet broadcast experience as a jumper is good from Domzowski with a hand in his face as Curry will quickly blow by and leaves for Prescott. Matty with a foul line jumper, no good, but he tracks down his own rebound. JT is going to try his hand at another 3. He's got his last 2, and we're not at 19.
I mean, like I said, right? You knock one down, they all follow.
No doubt.
So you're being a mentor?
Yeah, and that the struggle is real across the board. Because we're trying to get them to throw the headsets on and talk, and everybody's talking in a whisper. And I was like, guys, as a strong take, and Vlasic did an even stronger rebound, and Curry will come the other way as Montgomery tries to take the lead, and he is fouled. No, and they're going to say on the floor. Wow, that's a tough break.
Regardless of where it was.
Well, no, you know what hurt him there, and why that ended up going that way? Because he slipped. That would have been an in-one layup if he is able to elevate and get towards the basket.
Regardless of when it happened, it was an amazing shot. Really, way to concentrate.
Curry knocks down the first, earned himself a second. Montgomery's got the lead for the first time this evening, 20-19. But to finish that thought about the Plainfield mentoring, the kids just don't talk loud enough. Nobody does.
Yeah.
Offensive rebound for Vlasic as he'll go back to Curry, and he'll shoot from the corner, no good. And Rubio tries to keep it alive, but Moore just not in the right place. Rubio hits the deck again.
Sliding.
And what are we going to have? We're going to have a foul call on the Cougs.
But still impressive ball movement by Phillipsburg. They're doing a really good job finding the cutter, finding the people that are flashing to the lane. They're doing an excellent job moving the ball.
No doubt. No doubt. And
good steal.
Yeah, there was just some miscommunication there. Clearly, that's the easiest steal Symborski's ever going to have, and that there was an elbow involved. And
that was actually a really impressive catch. If you went back and saw that, it was coming in with some heat, and he just caught it with just his right hand. That's pretty solid.
Well, I mean, they don't really want anybody touching the basketball, so he's trying to use as few hands as possible to corral them. That's pretty much what it is. That's another weird new rule as Rubio knocks down the first one. They don't want the officials touching the basketball. So, you'll notice right now, Rubio has the ball in his hand. You're going to get a whistle. You got another whistle there that you would never have. That signals to the shooter that he's allowed to actually shoot the ball. It's just these new protocols that we're going to have to get used to.
Yep.
2 for 2 from the senior Lafayette-bound captain, Chris Rubio, and the lead is 3 for Montgomery.
Ooh, almost a backcourt.
Domzowski nearly traveled with it as he will elevate from the foul line, no good. And he gets it back. Rubio sticks a big paw out there as Josh Moore. Curry now. And they work around at the outside. Boy, Curry's got that range. But Symborski, he'll try his hand. No good. Rubio just knocking it back outside. And now Curry into the lane with those big steps. He lays it up and one. Boy, that first step, that'll kill you.
That little Euro?
Well, no, just the first step to blow
to get
by.
Past him, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man, he did a really great job driving in there, and then a solid finish.
And he cannot put the capper on the three-point play, and then we're going to get a foul on Vlasic as Phillipsburg will go to the line now in the 1-and-1 situation. Fury, I mean, you're a very accomplished varsity athlete. As you're blocking out there, I have to imagine there is no substitute for speed and a guy with a on the free throw, and Curry and Prescott, as Prescott got really pushed in the back there and no call. And what was that? That was almost nearly a block by his own teammate. That was very odd looking. And that was just a very sloppy situation with bodies just everywhere, as Symborski will go up ahead. No good. Rubio there to clean up that was
some stuff right there.
Whatever the heck that just was.
That was some stuff.
Coach Grundy calls a timeout.
Yeah, things happened right there.
Well, it's 30-second time, but we may as well just stay here. We got so much stuff to talk about. Welcome to the 21 boys basketball season on the Mire. Keith Glock, Matt Pogue, Tim Bartholomew, Brandon Fury, and Mandy Shelvin. The whole Mire crew is in the house, along with about 100 fatheads on the opposite side of the court, which is kind of fun.
Yeah. Where's yours?
We did not get them. We were, to tell you, and this isn't even an excuse, in the last 2 weeks, with it, as you get a closer look at the fatheads here, as Pogue is really just doing some major producing on this.
Well, I got to tell you, the website is fabulous, man. You guys did some bang up job on that thing.
And honestly, we worked on that pretty much 3 and 4 days straight. I had a little bit of a fight with the folks over at GoDaddy because they changed some things before without telling us. And you know me, I'm a vindictive guy, so I as we get out of bounds off Symborski, when I just didn't get the level of customer service that I wanted, I was like, you know what we're doing now? We're going to switch to Google.
Oh, there you go.
I was like, I'm not doing this. I'm not playing this game with people that are like, well, no, you must have changed something. I was like, oh, I assure you that I did nothing. Yesterday things worked and today they don't. Which is to say, there was a Verizon error message, and we don't even use Verizon for anything. It was so odd.
Like, who has Verizon?
Oh, I was so bad. Oh, we approach a minute to go in the second quarter, and Montgomery's opened up a 7-point lead after trailing for much of this first half. Curry with the body control, and his shot is altered. And Phillipsburg now will try to settle some things down. Nearly a carry.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
Putting some pressure on Phillipsburg.
State liners. You right there?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Just making sure this thing
just checking. That's awesome audio for the people at home.
Yeah,
they love that.
They want to hear that.
Just tap on your microphone all day.
I should. That's good sound.
Curry almost coming up with a steal. Phillipsburg, you can see, content to kind of run the clock out here and hope for the last shot. And this is big, and they're not going to be able to do it. So Montgomery with 8.6 has plenty of time to get another basket before the half.
Just enough time to go up 10.
This feels like press cup time for me right now.
I feel it. Or JT.
Curry will step back, and he'll rise and fire. No good. Moore, can he get it off? And he can, but he is blocked. And that will send us to the half. Before we head to the half, let's head on over to Mandy Shovlin. Mandy, what do you have for us?
All right, guys, so going out of this second quarter, we saw both teams getting a little into the intensity, which made a little bit of messy playing. But for the Cougars, they are taking the opportunities on their offensive rebounds and also in their free throws that Phillipsburg has given them in their bonus. Now back to you guys.
We are at halftime of game numero uno. Montgomery with a 7-point lead. We'll come back, give you a little bit of analysis right after this. You're caught in the mire. It's the Montgomery Internet Radio Experience. Welcome back to Montgomery as you take a look at some of the fatheads in attendance over on the far sideline as we're set to go for quarter number 3 of boys basketball. In the season opener at Montgomery, Timmy, it was slow going for the Cougs there in the beginning part of this game.
They hit their stride though, coming into the end of the second quarter rather. Sorry.
Another hot start for Phillipsburg as Rubio is going to get called for a foul on an and-one situation. And I didn't have Fury plugged in there. I apologize, buddy. There you go. Now you're back. Prescott will try his luck with another 3. That's no good. Rubio's got another offensive rebound, and boy, you got to love that.
Yeah, it's so nice having that guy out there, right? Like,
seriously, Montgomery's been blessed with, some guys with some crazy good size over the years, haven't they?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, great crossover back for Rubio as he gets into the paint. And Curry's going to load and fire from 3. Yeah, no good.
Oh, good job by Prescott.
Matty Prescott, after he's lived in the weight room all offseason there, showing some offensive rebounding prowess.
And this might be a new kind of role for him. He's going to have to embrace maybe getting a little physical in the
making that elbow jumper a thing that, became a staple of his game as he goes 2 for 2 from the line. Certainly not, and it's why I guess I'm so encouraged at this moment as a very acrobatic layup up and good from Julian Couto.
Acrobatic, but a little unnecessary.
Prescott tracks it down, and it's going to be out of bounds off Phillipsburg. The thing that has me so excited about this is that I really didn't think we played very well in the first half, and still winning by 6. It's one of those that, what is this team going to look like when both Prescott and Curry are really firing?
Yeah. I mean, could you imagine you get everybody on all the 4 cylinders? You got Rubio hitting his shots, and you got JT hitting his. Like, oh man, they've got lots of weapons.
Couto, no underway here in quarter number 3, and Phillipsburg will look to chew into this Cougar lead.
Oh,
Prescott able to steal it, and he'll head the other way with the right hand and lay it in.
Good hands there from Prescott. Led to points on the offensive end for him.
That was one of those, he wasn't even really looking because he wasn't expecting the pass to go there. He was more worried about his next responsibility, but as you said, Brandon, just able to get a hand on the basketball. Curry looking for 5 seconds, but just barely escaping was Phillipsburg.
Yeah, it was just a good hustle play on his part.
Yep. And you saw the pressure getting to Borelli there as he threw it out of bounds.
When the shots aren't falling, being aggressive can definitely make up for a lot of that, making mistakes at 100 miles an hour.
Well, that's when you want to make them big, right?
Yeah. If you're going to make a mistake, do it at full force.
3 for Prescott, his first of the season.
Here it comes.
Your boy, Matt Prescott.
Yeah, buddy. I take it back. Stay at the three-point arc.
We got into it a little bit in the pregame about the diversity of the skill set of, the big players on the Montgomery team, from an offensive standpoint. As nearly a travel, but no call. Rubio is going to throw all the way up ahead for Curry, and he'll have an easy layup.
Awesome down-court vision.
Timeout coming from Phillipsburg. A great flurry there from the Cougars, and we're going to send it over to Mandy Shovlin. Mandy.
All right, guys, so coming into the second half, we have Rubio with 11 points, Curry with 5 points, and JT Symborski with 6 points overall, with 2 of them being threes. So I think some goals for these teams coming in is keep the lead, maintain the intensity in the play of game, and also to continue.
Of the second half, I think it's time for some more shameless plugs on the Mire. Remember, we have started, and Brando, I can't wait to get started with you. And I apologize for the audio here, as I have to keep changing out some audio sources because we're a first-class organization here. We started the Muck and Mire podcast, and
Yes, sir.
First episode will drop on Monday. We're set to record every Sunday, and you have an interview lined up, I hear, as that my man right there, correct?
Yeah, Curry's going to hop on the podcast for a quick interview.
You know him? You know him?
Yeah, I know that guy.
Santa?
Yeah.
I know him.
I know him.
So you can subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, or Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. And just a little more content for you as Prescott hangs in the air and uses the window.
Good physical take there from Prescott.
Uh-oh, a little pressure.
Montgomery really turning it up. And we're going to have a block. Good call.
I mean, I like the idea, though. He did
Sure.
try to take the charge, just wasn't able to get his feet set.
You know, it almost looked like a little indecision mentally there. Like, am
Yeah.
I going to, he was caught between going for the steal and then trying to step in and take it. I think if he decided even a half second sooner that he was just going to try to get set, as Curry is going to pick up a foul as Borelli got decked.
I saw that in an MMA fight once, just dropping the elbow. I know it was an accident.
I don't even know that this really warrants a conversation, to be honest, if they're going to call some kind of foul. Yeah, that's all. That's a common foul.
Yeah,
That was a basketball play. If you're.
It just looked a little more aggressive.
Well, I mean, it was just unfortunate. It wasn't flagrant.
No. He definitely wasn't doing it intentionally. That hurt him as much as it hurt that
Oh
kid.
yeah, no, he fell super awkwardly. That's one of those things that, I think as an official, you when you're blowing the whistle, you're going, listen, that's just unfortunate. It's just unfortunate, not malicious. Like, you can really affect the reaction of the players there if they know, like, oh, somebody else just saw what happened to me.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure that didn't feel good, and Borelli had no real way of seeing exactly how Curry fell.
Coug's really coming out aggressive here in the second half. A lot of hard takes inside.
Prescott, he'll come the other way quickly. Curry widening himself out. Great job by Prescott to create space for him. Curry, and then that would have been one of those heat check moments there.
Yeah. He's on fire.
A great job by Phillipsburg there. And Josh Cologne to even handle that basketball, let alone lay it in.
I mean, did this game just get like 10 times faster?
Yeah, without a doubt.
They're just getting more comfortable as time goes on here.
Curry, rise, fire, top of the key, yes.
There he is.
Curry with a great couple of minutes here as the pace of this game getting faster and way more interesting. Completely selfishly as Cologne here is going to hoist away from three. No good. As Curry again with a run out. And he will lay it in with the left hand.
Unbelievable.
7 points in about 90 seconds for the junior captain, Curry. And it's going to be a turnover and an offensive foul. Wow, a great job.
Wow.
By Montgomery.
Cougars looking solid right now. And that was the second time that we got a big rebound by Rabayo, and he just chucks it down court to Curry, who's able to finish it on the breakaway. And it's just solid basketball right there.
The blow-by from Curry was out freaking standing.
He tends to have the ability to do that, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah, no doubt. Josh Moore, the very talented freshman. And, all right, that was, you can chalk that one up in the makeup call category of somewhere somebody trying to.
Let me get you back.
Yeah.
Let me get you back.
No doubt about it.
Ooh, good look inside.
Quickly for two the other way was Phillipsburg and Cody Gromes. Curry crossing up Cologne, and a good job by Gromes to get a fingertip on. Otherwise, it would have been a three wide open from Symborski.
You don't want to let him take those.
Not at all. Everybody has contributed, as they say. I don't know who they are.
Is that what they say?
That's what somebody told me one time. There's that back door, and it's going to be out of bounds off Montgomery. I thought that went off Cologne's foot, but right? I'm not seeing things there. It is what it is.
Trying to cool off Montgomery. Too much on fire.
And Vlasic is going to get called for a foul. You know what was weird about that just then? Your microphone was what picked Fury up there. I didn't even have Fury turned up.
Nice. See, so he is talking loud. It's you. It's not him. It's you.
No, it's you.
What do you mean?
Don't you understand that I don't do anything wrong in these things? Come on.
At least make it make sense when you're blaming me.
I'm perfect.
You just said my mic picked him up, and you're like, it's your fault.
Well, that's the thing. Your mic is turned so far up, and we still can't hear you.
You hear me just fine.
The intensity level picking up here, and we're going to get an offensive foul as Symborski steps into the lane. Let's take another look here. As you can see, JT just sacrificing the body there, and that's a great job defensively by the sophomore.
You know, he did that a lot last year at the end of the season, and even in the beginning of the season, just being able to step in and take the charge. And that's a skill set.
As we're going to have a steal the other direction as Gordy couldn't handle it, and a deuce for Tristan Canzano. Curry will leave for Symborski, and JT for three. Yes!
There it is.
Third three of the ball game for JT, and he will make his presence known. Good job by Josh Moore.
I love these young guys just getting in there, not afraid to throw their hat in the mix. Moore going for the steals. Yeah. Symborski banging these threes.
This is I get more excited with that stuff almost than anything.
Yeah. I mean, because it's hard as a sophomore to have the courage to take a lot of those shots when you got guys like Rabayo and Curry on the court with you.
But you know what I attribute that to is we're going to get a foul on Montgomery. And I think, years ago, it was certainly the way that you just described, that younger players, though they got minutes, were more deferential to the upperclassmen because it was, well, you're a senior, you're a junior, you should be shooting. I know I'm in the game, but I shouldn't really be shooting. You have to give credit to the coaching staff to coach that out of them.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely. He built that family out. I mean, it says it on the court. It says it on the shirts. He makes it if you feel like a family, and then they all, contribute. They pick each other up.
No doubt. Free throw is good. And it is still a 17-point lead for Montgomery. But, it still takes, some mental toughness and confidence to be able to do that, as Curry will kick it back outside for Moore. He's still wide open. He's still going to fire, and he's –
I wanted it so bad.
Rabayo with another offensive rebound, and he puts it in. Boy, he is going to just accumulate stats, isn't he?
I mean, it's so hard to guard him. And when he can make plays like that, like grab a rebound and put it right back up.
Oh, and Gordy is going to get, I guess, called for the body contact.
Yeah, barely. But that was what we were talking about earlier. It's just hard to shoot over that, man. Even if he just stood there with his hand up, it would have been hard to shoot over him.
It's having those two guys in the game. It allows you to let Chris Rabayo run out there. You know what I mean? Like he ran past the shooter, and then you still got to go deal with another guy inside that reaches up to the sky.
Absolutely. And, Rabayo has that skill set where he can play outside as well. So now that you have a guy who can pick up what's missing when he leaves the underneath the basket, that makes for a dangerous team.
Curry, as he goes to the baseline, and they're going to get a foul.
He's got great vision, man.
Yeah.
Just to be able to see more at the top of the key and get it to him without any problem.
That baseline drive, it makes it so difficult for opposing teams because of that quick first step. I mean, they just have to do something, either push him, as Prescott will hoist another three, no good. They either have to push him out of bounds, or he's, athletic enough to be able to score from under the basket there.
Yeah.
Good leave into the middle, and Rabayo alters the shot. The ball is still on the floor and corralled by Peberg. And we're going to get a foul as I think Gordy hit him on the way up.
See, Gordy there, he doesn't need to come down on it. He's so tall, he can just put his arms right up, and that way the foul won't be called. But because he comes down, that's where they get him.
That was something that you saw Rabayo become a master of as this, and he was always pretty good at it. But even as the season wore on last year, I mean, his ability to jump completely vertically straight up and down, to not draw those kinds of fouls made him just an excellent defender.
Absolutely.
And it helps the team stay out of foul trouble as well.
Which we currently are in.
Curry again with that first step. He kicks for more. Josh looking for his first points of the season.
It is.
He's got it for 3.
And that's why he's so dangerous. He drives to the hole and everybody crashes. And because of that and his vision, he's able to pass it out to Moore or whoever and get that basket.
That play is going to result in a steal as the season goes on. Gordy's going to get that ball, I'll tell you right now. Here's another 3 short that time from Andrew Martin, and Curry will run out the other way. No look inside for Gordy, and Gordy misses another layup as we are at the end of the third quarter. And holy mackerel, let's head over to Mandy.
All right, guys, coming into this quarter, the Cougars, unlike Phillipsburg, are making their easy shots, which is helping maintain their lead. Both teams are highest on fouls and turnovers, which will definitely come into play later in this game. Back to you guys.
It's an 18-point lead for Montgomery. We're through 3 as we take a look here at Curry and Josh Moore's first points as a varsity player. 4 quarters in a ball game, 3 in the books. You're caught in the mire. It's the Montgomery Internet Radio Experience. Welcome back to Montgomery. Keith Glock, Matt Pogue, as we get an inbound play for Curry as he leaves for Prescott, and Matty will lay it in with a contested finish. The lead is back to 20 for the Cougs. Full court pressure from Montgomery. And good job by Phillipsburg to get it over the timeline.
Oh, almost dribbled out of bounds.
State liners. Can't really sit on it for too long as Rabio with a run out. Moore, can he get there? Yes, Josh Moore, and just dribbled himself out of bounds there.
One of those times where your legs are moving faster than your body can control.
I know, right? You just get a little off balance, and that's the way it goes. But time is not a friend to Phillipsburg. The Montgomery defense, where it was maybe a bit, I don't even want to say lackadaisical or unaware, but maybe just not quick enough to react to Domzalski's range. They have really held him in check over the last couple of quarters because he's a super talented offensive player, and he can shoot it.
He's got some range.
No doubt. Contested jumper there. No good. Curry's got it.
He's going to slow it down now.
Symborski, he's wide open. Another 3 from JT. That's short this time. And can Rabio keep it alive? No. But now a steal. And Rabio just finds himself wide open under the basket and lays it in.
Buck.
Crap of the mire. Because I'm doing all this changing in and out here and the audio sounds like crap, we went to halftime and I spent $300. I mean, I swear to God, I went on Amazon and I said, we're not doing this all season. I can't do it.
That's your MO.
I can't do it.
We're like, I need a new laptop.
No, well, no, I mean, that was a disaster. Don't even get us started about that. A year ago, I was committing Harry Carey on the side. Down? You want me to go? Oh, sorry. I was getting a little excited. My bad. My bad.
You're talking too loud.
Curry, no good, and Gordy fighting for the rebound, no good.
Good fight, though.
But yeah, we number one, we can't be not having people being able to talk.
For sure.
And secondly, I'm not switching these cords in and out all day.
What is it? The fourth jack doesn't work?
Yeah, and I don't even really understand it because it's a pretty new soundboard. So as a great contested jumper from Phillipsburg there goes down, and a good job from Borelli. as we expected, it's been Domzalski and Borelli doing the bulk of the scoring for Phillipsburg. Moore, he's going to try his hand at another three, and he gets a shooter's roll for the freshman.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
And one.
Great take there. Defense leading to offense once again for the Cougs.
You see Prescott, his defense leading to a fantastic inside-out dribble from Curry, and man, when he gets to the basket, he can finish the basketball, huh?
Man, these guys are doing great, man.
There is not a ton that Curry does not do well.
No.
As his free throw is good, completes the three-point play. So Montgomery now opening up the lead. 26 now is the margin that Phillipsburg needs to try to cut into. And a good baseline drive. We're going to get another foul. Symborski's going to pick up the foul as Matt Levy gets set to check in for the first time for Montgomery. So Domzalski will head to the line. And Phillipsburg is in the bonus. Oh, actually, everybody's in the bonus now.
Yeah. Lots of fouls in the second half.
Yep. Curry will have a rest, and that will probably do it, I would think, for Curry. Steph, as the game goes on.
Yeah.
Oh, it's fantastic. Moore, as he has his pocket picked. Nothing like on-the-job training, as a great finish as Josh Colon, and Grundy's going to call a timeout there.
Yep.
As
Looks like Moore got hit in the face.
yeah, Moore got a little smack.
Kid did great, though, man. He really did a good job moving the ball and made a clutch shot in that three-pointer.
So Curry, Levy, and Symborski. JT is going to fire away again, and we're going to get a foul on Montgomery. Gordy's going to pick up the foul, and this will be the last time that Phillipsburg is shooting 1-on-1, as that's the 9th team foul for the Cougs. And as they get set to shoot free throws, why don't we head on over to Mandy? Mandy, what do you have?
All right, guys, so the Cougars came into this quarter with about a 20-point lead, and Coach Grundy was adamant about using hands and fast movement since we can hear everything everyone says. Coach Grundy also knows that his players can't get too comfortable with this lead, and they need to keep up the intense environment. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Mandy. 1 of 2 from the line for Phillipsburg, and Montgomery comes down with it.
Just taking their time, move the ball around to take a good shot. Oh, get it into Gordy.
Gortz loses it out of bounds. The lead remains 21 as we're midway through the fourth quarter. Opening night of the 2021 season. We have a slew of hoops on tap in the next week. Tomorrow night at Bordentown, we'll be on tape delay, and we're going to get a foul on Symborski, so it'll be 2 shots for Phillipsburg. So what we're planning on doing is we're going to record the game tomorrow live because we are literally not allowed to air it while it is on live for copyright reasons. So as soon as that thing is over, we will upload it and fire it on out to YouTube for everybody to take a look, probably about 7:15 tomorrow.
It works out. It's about the same time it normally would have been.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So just don't follow somebody's Twitter if you can help it. I don't really even know. And you'll be able to watch it, your perception of live. Next week, we're away at Ridge on Tuesday, and then back home again Thursday to begin a 3-game homestand, as they say in the baseball world. Matt Levy, as Symborski able to corral Prescott. He'll go to the lane.
There it is. Solid, strong take.
He can shoot it from the outside, and if he's able to add that dimension to his repertoire, I mean, that's just it's going to make him very difficult to guard. Josh Moore is okay. He's going to come back into the ball game. Cologne, as Gordy is able to pull down the rebound. Defensively, Gordy's still just playing a little out of control, maybe that half step. As Levy, he was looking for his first bucket of the season.
Oh, I thought for sure Curry was going to snag that.
This is one of those situations where you're hoping for something to happen so you can have a whistle so you can get these guys
some time
out of the game and get the other guys in a little bit here. 3 on the way, no good. Prescott skying for the rebound. Behind his back, you could see, man, as Levy will try a 3. That's no good.
He just looks smoother, Prescott.
Yes, exactly. That's a fantastic way to describe it.
Everything looks like more natural this year. He's doing a great job.
Curry and Prescott, no real give up there at all. As Borelli will share inside a couple extra passes and doesn't result in very much offense. Curry, stutter step to the lane. Easy with the right hand. 30-second timeout from the Cougs just to get the subs in the game as we get our first look at Alex Pendris and Kerry Wong. And obviously Moore, as we mentioned. Brando, when you were a younger player, and you got those first varsity minutes, what's that like?
Well, it's definitely cool, different experience from JV and freshman, but probably a lot less pressure on them now. Nobody in the stands, so it's really just almost like a practice environment. So it's good for them to really get comfortable with it, and then hopefully soon we'll have fans back in here, and then they could feel the pressure.
Was it always back in the back of your mind, like this is my chance to like make my mark, maybe earn some extra minutes in the varsity?
Yeah, no doubt. That's where a lot of guys will earn their minutes in these blowout situations where they finally have a chance to show what they can do.
Yeah.
Gordy has it taken away.
Good pass by Moore to get it to him, though.
And an offensive foul.
Right there. Perfect example of it.
Kerry Wong stepping into the lane as he draws the charge. Well, we don't call it a charge very much anymore, do we? I guess not. Brian Symborski into the ball game. James Moore into the ball game. This is the kind of situation that Coach Grundy looks for all the time, and he talked about these guys in the pregame and their unselfish nature because they just, they signed on this year because the team is practicing in pods. Like, typically this program practices everybody together, and, they're shuffling people back and forth on courts, freshman to JV, JV to varsity, not only in practice, but, also from, games. So this way, maybe one day you can get some more minutes for somebody. As Symborski's turnaround no good. Still fighting Brian as he hits the deck, but Montgomery able to control. And here's Kerry Wong into the lane, a floater no good, and a rebound to Phillipsburg with 30. But, in situations where, these guys that are on the court right now would practice all week long, and maybe, sit on the bench with the varsity, they would still be able to play the JV game. And this year you can't do that because you can't shuffle back and forth because of the COVID rules.
Yeah.
So just unselfish.
Yeah,
unselfish.
It's crazy. They have the long-term picture, and they know what this program can offer them and what they want to be a part of, and it's admirable of them.
A slow, stilted beginning ends with a big 25-point win for the Cougs on opening night. Not too bad to me.
Yeah, I was very impressive. They came out, they were slow to start, but they were able to come back into their normal, high-intensity, solid basketball.
Let's see what Mandy's got for us. Mandy.
All right, guys, Cougars clutched this game with a 25-point win. We saw an excellent game from our regulars like Chris Urbayo and Ryan Curry, but we also saw a great performance from Josh Moore, and he had a significant help in this game. It was a great win for the Cougars home opener, and we hope to see you next time. Back to you.
Thanks, Mandy. A fantastic home victory for the Cougs on opening night. You know, I'm really excited to see what this team is going to be able to do this season. I just think the talent level and the style of play that this team wants to play is going to not only produce results, but it's going to be fun to watch.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they have so many playmakers, and like we said earlier in the broadcast, that when one's down, they pick each other up, and one of these days we're going to see a game where none of them are down and they're all firing, and it's going to be something amazing to see.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty fun year. I really hope that everybody behaves themselves, and that goes for moms and dads out there too, so that they don't come back and give the old bug to the kiddies and then have them bring it into the basketball programs, because I want to watch this team play about 15 basketball games. So, boys, not too bad for attempt number 1. And, Polk, I can say officially without any kind of hex that for the first time in the history of the Mire, nothing has really gone wrong in a game where we played Phillipsburg, which Phillipsburg seems to be the Achilles heel of this station.
Yeah, I mean, all the chairs stayed on the court, so that was good.
Well, yeah, nobody threw a chair at anybody. That's a victory for sure. However, I wasn't even talking about that. I was talking more about our own technical issues, which seem to magically crop up every time Phillipsburg shows up for any sport. Mire is strictly prohibited. Montgomery 68 and Phillipsburg 43. Make sure you check us out tomorrow night about 7:15 whenever the game down at Bordentown goes final. We'll upload it to YouTube per copyright restrictions. For Tim Bartholomew, Brandon Fury.